Welcome, one and all, to GOATQUEST. We're under the big top in Brighton, Michigan, and I'm joined by the infamous Thomas Edward Beer.
Hello, Joe.
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good, but we're back since it's an afternoon recording. Usually we've been recording in the morning, so it hasn't been approachable to really get into the cracking of a delightful beverage.
Yes.
Of the malt variety.
It's been a couple months since we've had a drink.
That's very nice. That's La Cerveza Más Fina Corona Light, a.k.a. Corona
calories.
Light.
99 calories. Nice.
And that's in honor of Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Little Corona. Coronas. So let's jump into it because the Super Bowl is in the distance, but who's who in the NFL amongst heavyweights and who's been punching above their weight is starting to separate itself.
A bit. People who are who we thought they were are pretty much all in that 5-2 slot. There's with a few surprises. There's a lot of folks that are in this 5-2 or in the Green Bay Packers situation with the tie 4-1-1, which I think will come back to haunt them. We discussed that. I think that tie is going to come back to mean something. But amongst those 5-2 heavyweights, let's run it down. We have seen the Los Angeles Rams, who we both thought made some very nice offseason adjustments, put themselves in position to really contend out of the West. That front runner in the West being Seattle. That Seattle defense is fierce. Another big Monday night win for them at 5-2. Your Detroit Lions, which we will come back and double click on, the team that they just beat, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans goes down to injury, so we'll see how that affects the number one receiver of Baker Mayfield's plight. The Philadelphia Eagles are 5-2, revamping and coming off of 2 losses. They seem to have reset themselves. San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Packers, of course, with coming off the bye week with the 1 tie. So when you look at those teams, anyone emerge to you as a shocker or anyone emerge to you as having head and shoulders played better than the others? I think Philly's just going to be tough. They've just got too many receivers, great run game, good defense. They don't always play good, but good defense. Their defense played better last game. I just think they're going to be tough to beat. I think Jalen Hurts, when he decides to play a certain way, he's almost unstoppable.
And by play a certain way, would you like to see him stay in the pocket more, go through his progressions, or would you like the Jalen Hurts that looks for one read and then tucks it and gets what he can get with his feet?
I think he does both. And I'm not really sure exactly which one I would like if I was a fan to see more. Probably him improvising and running out of the pocket. He's just so fast, so accurate, so quick, makes good decisions. I don't know. When he's on top of his game, I don't think they can be beat, in my opinion.
Well, I think what we saw this weekend, and we talked about this, but it gets talked about a lot, this idea of, do you take what the defense is giving you, or do you try to enforce your will, stay on your script, do what you do offensively? And it's constantly comes home to roost for me that the coordinators who have a game plan going in that unleashes its focus on the weaknesses of the defense seem to come out on top consistently over and over again. We saw this with the Kansas City Chiefs just annihilating that front seven once Crosby went down for the Raiders. I mean, Las Vegas was clueless in a 31-0 debacle. And we can go down the line.
Joe, I think all teams are almost 1 or 2 plays away. If you lose your top 2 players now, you lose Crosby, who's great, right? And you're back. And that's one of the things that we talked about earlier, the Lions and the backups. There is no way I would have ever picked the Lions minus 6.5, even though it was a home game and a Monday night game without their 2 corners. We had
Actually, no, 2
We had
corners.
Amik Robertson.
We had Amik
Amik
Robertson, but we had
the one who played.
We had the new nickel also. Guys.
Hallett.
Yeah, I didn't even heard of him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was.
Strickland, Hallett. I mean, you got
Yeah.
guys coming off the bench.
That looked like they were, starting cornerbacks, flying around, making plays.
Yassine.
Yeah. He's been in the league 5 years, 5 different teams. I mean,
Journeyman, to say the least.
crazy. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was awesome.
It was awesome to see the way Shepard was coaching them up.
Did you hear his speech the couple days before?
No.
So they asked him in a interview, and he's like, "Listen, this is what all these guys dream of, having a shot, right?
This is it.
This is it. Wake up, motherfucker.
Pony up.
Yeah,
It's time.
We all dream of having a shot. Now you got your shot."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I think they're going to play well." Did you see him on the sidelines too?
Oh, that's what I saw. I saw
Going crazy. It was awesome.
I saw a level of emotion that I haven't seen, and Aaron Glenn was very emotional too. Don't get me wrong, but I saw a level of emotion out of Shepard and out of the entire sideline defensively. Again, when a team has the right culture, this is culture beats strategy, eats it for lunch. When a team has the right culture, the rest of the squad rallies around the guys who are getting that one shot.
But back to my original comment that I've been saying on here for a year, that coaching's overrated. It's overrated because I think people think it's 50-50, not because coaching doesn't matter. Right? People think it's 50. It's not 50-50, but coaching does definitely matter, especially in this game. And when you watch Dan Campbell talk to his assistant coaches, they all have the same mentality. They all have the same words coming out of their mouth, the same message.
Yeah.
Right? Be tough, be gritty. Things are going to go wrong. Pick yourself up and get back to work.
But how unexpected is to have Jared Gough look very average in the first half.
Yeah.
Right? Mistake prone, taking sacks, throwing picks. And the defense with 4 DBs out is who picks him up.
I didn't even know who was playing. I mean, hardly. I'd see these guys flying across the middle, making plays, making a pick, blocking for each other downfield. I mean, obviously I knew everybody in offense, but on defense I didn't. But we were fairly healthy on defense. We got Akeem McNeil back. Hutch played good. Muhammad played good. The other guys filled in. We played good on defense, put pressure on them, made plays.
I think that the Lions, just as we discussed early on this season, the Lions and the Packers, the black and blue division of the North is going to be incredibly tough. I think they are separating themselves. I think the Lions have all the tools, the offensive explosion. So now you're sitting here, and when Jared Gough plays poorly, which I think his first half was poor.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Gibbs is unstoppable.
Yeah.
David Montgomery, the Sonic and Knuckles. So I think that this is the first team in NFL history that has the opportunity to have 2 1,000-yard rushers and be in the top 5 in passing.
Look at the NFL. Name
Did you hear that?
I heard what I heard.
2 1,000-yard rushers, which has happened 6 times before, but has never happened with a team that's also in the top 5 in passing.
But maybe 500-yard pass. You think they do 1,000 and 1,000?
No. I think they could both have 1,000 yards this year. I think both running backs, if they stay healthy, they can both have Now that has happened 6 times
in a league that really doesn't run the football anymore.
And that's my point.
Watch these games. Like watch a KC game. What Hunt gets the ball?
Yes,
5
short
times.
Yardage.
Change
of pace.
6 times. Yeah, change
First
of pace.
down.
It's almost like running is a waste of a down.
It is.
You know?
It is for a lot of these teams.
It is.
In their playbook, it's just
that mentality.
Keep them honest.
Yeah.
It's keep the linebackers in the box.
I guess so, but it doesn't keep any linebackers in the box because all they're doing is dropping anyway. It's weird.
So if you run it back, it kind of showed the demise of the run game in the NFL. If you run it back to the 70s and the 80s, you had 3 teams. Obviously, the Super Bowl champion, 1972 undefeated Miami Dolphins with Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris. That's the first.
Steelers, yeah.
That's the first 2 1,000-yard rushers. Then, correct, you go to 1976, Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris. I still say Franco Harris, most underrated running back in NFL history. Those 2 go for 1,000 yards in 76. Those are playoff teams. Super Bowl champion team. Steelers went to the AFC Championship, got beat by the Raiders in 76. But the Browns in 85, which we know from Tecmo Bowl,
If you ever played Tecmo, you know about Kevin Mack and Ernest Biner running the rock for the Browns in 1985. They go for 1,000 yards. That was a great team with Bernie Kosar. If John Elway doesn't have a miracle, then the Browns have a different lifespan of their own.
Yeah.
Then we leap all the way forward from 1985. The next time you saw two 1,000-yard rushers was 2006 in Atlanta, and that was when you had Michael Vick at quarterback who could rush for 1,000 yards with Warwick Dunn. Not two running backs, a quarterback and a running back, and that team was a losing team. 2008, the New York Giants, Brandon Jacobs and Derek Ward, they go for 1,000 yards, and that was the year that they also had Ahmad Bradshaw. I mean, they had three running backs who could get it done for the Giants, and that was a 12-4 division championship team. Then in 2009, another 8-8 team, the Carolina Panthers, with D'Angelo Williams and James Stewart. So when two of the three teams in the 2000s have two 1,000-yard rushers and don't even make the playoffs, that was pretty much the end of the run game in the NFL.
Yeah.
Coordinators looked at it and said, no, there's a better way to do this. Multiple sets, spread them out, get into situations where we got odd number attacks all over the field.
And I think the league kind of changed their view on, look how many penalties they call now. I mean, there are a lot. You get outside that 5-yard range and you're touching someone. I mean, and they're game changers. It's 3rd and 25. How many 3rd and 25s have you seen converted lately? Yeah. Or had a penalty where they're or a first down?
And you can't get an OPI to save your life. The offensive push-off is a staple now.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot get that. We saw some blatant ones this Sunday.
There was a couple. They called one or two, maybe.
College. I saw Pickens for Dallas.
Okay.
Pickens for Dallas got an OPI. And that was blatant. I didn't see another one the whole weekend. And in college, I think it might be even worse when you get to the SEC games. They've just given up on it.
Yeah.
So that's the NFC. If we flip the script, and I will say, let's give one shocker before we turn the page on the NFC. Chicago Bears are 4-2. Somehow that team is 4-2 with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. We flip to the AFC, and this one is the absolute opposite of what you see in the NFC.
Yeah.
The NFC is they are who we thought they were. The AFC is what the come on. The Indianapolis Colts, the New England Patriots back from the dead, the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix leading the charge.
Denver shouldn't have won that game. Oh, my God. Did you watch the last 2 minutes?
Just gave it away.
They just gave it away. They missed an extra point. I mean, they should not have won that game. But that's football.
The Pittsburgh Steelers with a 40-plus AARP quarterback are 4-2. The Buffalo Bills fall. The shocker is that they're all the way down at 5.
Yeah.
Sitting there at 4-2. I mean, I thought the Chargers would be better at 4-3. Kansas City stuck down at 4-3. Baltimore is got one win.
Yeah.
What would you have bet that John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson coming into this season would have more than one win going into week 7?
Sometimes you count on players that get hurt or take a chance on someone that doesn't work out. Same as hockey, same as any other sport. You got to have a team.
Is that the salary cap? Is the Baltimore Ravens having to put all that money into King Henry and Lamar?
That's part of a problem. The Lions are going to have that problem here in the next year or two. We're going to have that problem with keeping all these people that had first-round draft picks. I don't know.
Humphreys.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of guys making
guys
a lot of
banged
money.
up all over the field for Baltimore.
And you get those guys that you're paying 20, 30, 40 mil a year to, and they get hurt, and your backup is some guy that's on the practice squad. So a couple of these guys for the Lions, they were sitting at home last week. They weren't dressed.
The parity in the NFL on the player side, as you just mentioned, with guys walking the street and then being on the field a couple of weeks later, and the parity on the scoreboard in these games. Again,
I'd say
the Indianapolis Colts are 6-1.
I'd say
the Baltimore Ravens are 1-5.
Look at college now. A lot more parity. I'm not saying the NIL's good completely.
But just juxtapose those two things.
Yeah.
Remember, because the Colts came from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right? The old Baltimore Colts are in Indianapolis.
That was 20 years ago.
But what I'm saying, it's karma, right? Here's the karma train.
Well, remember, we went to
Indianapolis is 6-1, right?
All the heat that, Art Modell took for moving that team to Indianapolis. They've won Super Bowls. Baltimore hasn't figured out how to win Super Bowls. Since 2013, John Harbaugh takes the Ravens to the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. It's been a while.
But look, last year, me and you went to the Colts game.
Sure.
They were fucking horrible.
It
was embarrassing.
Lions played
we took
poor.
We took over the whole stadium. We played poor and won by 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Played average football, won by 3 scores.
Indy gets a new quarterback that has confidence and gets hot.
Running back's healthy.
He wasn't healthy last year when we went. I don't even think he played when we went, did he?
He wasn't healthy.
He wasn't healthy. But that changes the game. You got a good quarterback and you got your running back and your offensive line. Maybe they had a couple injuries. I can't remember who was in and who was out.
I think it's Zaire Alexander.
Actually, no. Both guards, when we went to that game, were starting rookies.
That's right.
Or both tackles or both guards that game. Dude, you just can't lose 4 or 5 good players, starters that you're paying money to in the NFL. That's why we were talking earlier about I would have bet everything that I thought Tampa Bay would cover 6.5 on the Lions.
Agreed. And
both corners, the nickel corner and safeties were out.
So let's go back to that Lions game. It's Monday Night Football. It's the early 7 o'clock in Detroit.
Which is the only one I can make it up for.
So that was my next. You're stealing my thunder here. Did you make it into the third quarter?
Barely. I taped it though. I taped it. I'm fucked up. I wake up at 3 a.m, then watch the end of the game.
Did you take your first gummy before the game or at the half?
At the half.
I took a gummy at the half.
I didn't want to get too.
So got about halfway through the third.
Yeah, and about half then. Pew.
And then sweet, sleepy sativa into the distance.
Night. Indica, not sativa.
Not sativa. Indica. Okay, I don't know the vernacular is beyond me.
I know you're really dumb.
The Ford Field parking situation. This is where we give our.
It's a shit show. Kevin Heidish.
Only Kevin Heidish knows the secrets to unlock in the city of Detroit. But
I don't know if he wants us.
No, we don't get the Heidi is us. We tell no one about the Heidi. But when you look at the parking situation, I watched the first half, okay, and then I went over to the concert with my beautiful wife to watch Mumford and Sons once I knew the game was in hand. All right, so that was at LCA. The parking on Monday Night Football with a concert that was sold out and the Monday Night Football with all the tailgating with people who weren't even going to the game. It's pure insanity. It's I can't imagine how much money the city of Detroit made.
There's got to be 200,000 people that go down there for Lions games that don't even go to the game. That just tailgate and get hammered.
Agreed.
Just get hammered for 5 hours and
hit the bars, watch the game, festivities.
Have their buddy come home, drive them home. Yeah.
All the festivities. And the Lions, off camera, off the air, we noted that the Lions right now are over $470 per person per game
for a family
to go to a game, right? So a family of 4 is going to expect to pay over $2,000 to get into one of these games.
And they used to be the cheapest ticket
around. They used to be the cheapest ticket in the NFL.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. That is what success and Dan Campbell's knee-biting philosophy has driven into the city of Detroit. It's a
beautiful thing.
It's an economic development machine. No. So your Colts, your Indianapolis Colts that you drove me down to see, and Zaire, the linebacker, Alexander, did you hear what he came out and said in defense of Brian Branch?
Oh, yeah. He said he should have kicked his ass or something.
He said, and I quote, all Brian Branch was doing by bloodying Juju Smith-Schuster's nose was the Lord's work. He said, this guy has had it coming for as long as anybody has had it coming in the NFL. Yeah, that this guy has been cheap shotting people and going to the referees and begging for calls and slipping things in after the whistle. And Brian Branch just did what everybody else in the NFL has wanted to do for years.
Wow. That's surprising.
I love it when a player comes up and says, look, there's more to this story.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why this guy got what he deserved in this case was this situation. Maybe that's why Branch only got a game, because it was pretty egregious.
I think so. It didn't even look like he hit him in the nose, did it?
I think he did.
I mean, that's part of football. I mean, most of the time people got their helmets on. There's fights. Me and you used to wrestle around. And
I did have a helmet torn off one time.
you had a helmet torn off, but you deserved it. You wouldn't shut the fuck up.
For what? I have no idea, but I'm sure you're right.
I don't even know.
I'm sure you're right.
I just know your mom.
Your
mom has hated me.
I'm sure you took umbrage with something legitimate that I said. Something like, took you 3 times to tackle me on that play. Nice job. So that is the NFL with the Colts and the Packers on top in winning percentage. The Detroit Lions and New England Patriots and Denver Broncos close behind in that 5-2 spot. Let's move on to college.
Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about the 2 conferences that have basically just become college football as it is today.
Big Ten and the SEC.
The Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah.
You got it, right? So the dominance has asserted itself even more now because the Miami Hurricanes.
Look how big the Big Ten is.
It's way
We
more than
got
10.
Oregon, we got BYU.
And SEC expansion with Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So I mean,
wait, hold on. BYU isn't in the Big Ten.
no, they're
No.
not
Oregon,
yet.
No.
Not yet. We'll see how that matures.
Yeah.
There were conversations. That's probably what you're thinking.
Okay.
But Miami loses to Louisville. Another ACC shakeup. They drop down almost out of the top 10, down to 9. BYU is sitting there at 11. Georgia Tech moved up to 7. Everybody else is SEC and Big Ten. You got to go. Notre Dame fits in there at number 12, but they're an outlier.
Yeah.
But run it down. Texas Tech took a loss. They dropped out of the top 10. UVA sneaks up. Virginia's 6-1. You haven't seen them that high in quite a long time. But when you look all the way down the list and you find South Florida sitting at 18 at 6-1, you realize that this conference domination now is fully legit. Is this the NIL portal manifestation?
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot more parity. You're just able to get 4 or 5. I mean, can you imagine, Joe, when we were in college, if we were able to get 4 or 5 starters from other teams to instantly come into our system?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for us, that would have been a game changer.
Well,
no, hold on.
It was a game changer in reverse when we lost 3 of our 4.
If you're going to Alabama and you got studs, you got 4-star recruits everywhere, I think you're going to have less of a change. But if you're like, God, I don't know, you're a MAC team. You're a MAC team, right?
Yeah.
And you can get a couple players from Florida and a couple players from Miami. That's gigantic. That's a huge upgrade.
But that's not what's happening.
I know it's not happening yet. I think it's going to happen.
It's not what's happening.
You wait till Central Michigan goes out and raises.
Yeah, you're going to
$30 million.
You're going to have an alum, a billionaire alum, come in and just decide, I want to win the MAC every year.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to go to a bigger bowl game.
Yeah.
I want to be in the group of 5.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to make that statement and step up the way Larry Ellison did with his wife to go get Blair Underwood out of LSU. LSU sits at 5-2. Michigan is pretty much the same. They're now LSU number 20, Michigan number 25. I mean, you run down this list. Ohio State clearly looks like
No question.
the class. Indiana right behind them now with the best wins by far.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, again, great wins, undefeated. The only other undefeateds are
Georgia Tech
and BYU.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, those are the only other undefeateds. But then you start loading up the SEC, Alabama, Georgia. Now here comes the Big Ten, Oregon. Now here comes back to Ole Miss, 6-1 is SEC. Vanderbilt.
Did you
6-1.
Did you watch that Vandy game?
They didn't blink for 1 second.
Didn't blink. And
They were the better team and knew it.
They were a better team. Their defense played great. They're off. That quarterback they got is special.
Pavia. Yeah.
He's special.
Came in with the expectation that they were going to spank LSU. Didn't it seem like that?
Mm-hmm.
That
It was a home
the
game.
bar
too.
has been
Yeah.
set by Vanderbilt in Nashville.
Yeah.
Now they got.
I don't think LSU is one of the. I mean, they're a good team, but they're not an elite team. I don't think.
Well, their coaching staff leaves something to be desired. At the top down from that's just one guy talking. I have my problems with Brian Kelly.
And he's a GLIAC guy.
He is, but he didn't recruit me, and then we had to go put 200 yards on him several times. Several times.
We should have won. We should have beat them your junior years. It's been the first time in 40 years.
I know.
But we did beat them once. Wayne State.
Yeah, we're going to steer.
5-6 years ago.
We're going to steer clear of Wayne State Division II talk
for
this episode.
Stay clear of our glory days.
Well, we're going to steer clear of it just because we haven't won a football game.
I think it's because no one gives a fuck.
Oh well, it's sad. It's remarkable how apathetic the entire fan base has become for our alma mater. So let's just leave it at that. With 0 wins, you don't have anything good to say. You don't say anything at all.
There you go.
So when I look at the way that this has evolved, I still sit here, and the most impressive team for me is Georgia Tech. I've watched this team. I've watched Haynes King.
They haven't played any of the big boys yet. I mean, they have a few of them, but they haven't played Georgia. They haven't played.
They're going to get their chance.
I know.
Right? They're going to get their chance to prove themselves against the best of the best in the SEC with that Georgia game, because perennially they're a power. But I really like the way that this team is built for four-quarter football. They play complementary football on both sides of the ball, special teams, 4 downs. They play to the whistle. It is a very balanced, well-coached football team, and I think that they're going to be held to deal with all the way through.
Okay,
that's the only team that I look at. I mean, BYU is going to.
I mean, I've hardly watched BYU. No. I mean, they've had some blowout games. I don't even know who they're playing.
They got Burkmeyer. You know, they've got the quarterback who wears number 47 and runs around and runs the rock. And there's some things to talk about there with Kingston, the wide receiver. But BYU is not going to be there at the end. The team that could actually sneak up on somebody in the playoff, to me, that's outside of the SEC and the Big Ten, is Georgia Tech, and obviously Notre Dame. Put Notre Dame out there. They have gotten right back in the conversation with.
I like Vandy. I like Vandy's D. I really liked Vandy's D in the game last Saturday. I thought they were great.
So you think they can contend?
I think they can contend, but if they lose that quarterback, they're bye-bye.
Well, they got to go to Rocky Top and beat Tennessee.
I know, and I think that's doable.
It is doable.
And I think they will.
I mean, Tennessee sits at number 17. They're 5-2. That's going to be a must-win for Tennessee. The winner of that game, or I should say the loser of that game, is probably out of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
So when you look at this, who to you now sets aside? And let's just think, who's going to get there in the Final Four? Who's going to be in those last 2 games at the end of the year?
I mean, Ohio State, it's almost, when I watch them, it's almost like they kind of play to the level of their competition. I mean, they haven't had the 50-0 games or wins. Maybe a couple against MAC teams or something.
You don't score against them.
No, you just don't score.
Patricia,
no,
he's got college football figured out pretty quick.
Yeah, he's got great players. He's got All-Americans all over the place. But
he does. Caleb Downs, to me, is probably the best football player in college football.
And I think Indiana is going to take a loss. I think they're going to lose to a Michigan, or they're going to lose to someone in the Big Ten. I'm not exactly sure the rest of their schedule.
They don't have very much left on the rest of their schedule, so it'll be in the Big Ten championship game, and it'll be against Ohio State.
Okay, yeah. Well,
so they're going to still make the playoff.
Texas A&M still, yeah. I mean, obviously, I like the top teams. I really like Alabama. I think they kind of figured it out after that opening loss they had, and they're playing well. Quarterback's playing well. Defense is playing well. Really like Alabama. Georgia, not so much. I think they've got some gaps. When I watch them, their defense doesn't seem to be what it used to be, and their offense doesn't seem to be what it used to be.
Georgia lost their number 2 wide receiver. I think he broke a leg, so he's probably out for the whole thing. Maybe he gets back in a bowl game or something like that, but that's gonna be tough on Georgia. I definitely think Alabama's got it figured out, and I love the Simpson kid at quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's going to keep getting better and better. He's got the right attitude. He's got some moxie back there. You stand in, take the hit, make the big throw. I'm impressed with Kalen DeBoer, especially considering.
Looks like an NFL quarterback already.
And especially considering what DeBoer has had to deal with coming in behind Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the microscope on them more than DeBoer has in Alabama.
Yeah, I think he knew that coming in. I mean, he's still got stud athletes coming out of his ears. Should you feel that sorry for someone? I guess you're expected to be in in the national championship every year and winning, but Saban didn't do it either.
I didn't realize that DeBoer had a cup of coffee with Eastern Michigan for a minute in his coaching career, but Chad Bush told me that DeBoer, that he got a chance to spend some time with him, and that he's a very forthright, honest, straight talk, God-fearing, like the players really respect him. He shows up, and the respect factor that he has with his players is more like a father figure. Mm-hmm. Like he's not one of these, I'm going to be your buddy. Mm-hmm. And he's also not fire and brimstone. I'm going to be your constant detractor and the kind of Nick Saban, Brian Kelly, chew everybody's ass.
So he's old school, but he's got a little new school.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
I think he's found the sweet spot here because look, Washington ain't the same without Kalen DeBoer. You saw what Michigan did to them. Mm-hmm. Michigan did not play well in that game.
No.
And manhandled them in the
second
second
really
half.
Played well this year. A couple games, but not really well.
No.
Not blowing anybody out.
No, I would agree. So when I kind of look up and down the line, if I'm setting this up, I'm looking at Alabama and Ohio State. To me, you take one from the Big Ten, one from the SEC, and then I'm looking at Oregon, and I still think that Ole Miss gets back into it. But
I think so too.
The team
and I love Vandy. I think that quarterback's got a lot of moxie. I think their defense is tough.
I don't think Ole Miss I think sneaks into the final unless they go against one of the other two, right?
Sure.
Depends on how it sorts out. And I don't like an Ole Miss matchup if they end up hitting Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But CJ Carr, the kid from Saline, who's looking, has his up and down moments, with the talented running backs that he's got. I mean, the Jeremiah Love, I'm not a big fan of his after game end zone dance.
Yeah.
The pelvic flush.
Why are you not a fan?
When I score touchdowns, what did I do?
You didn't do the Barry Sanders.
No, what did I do? I go down one knee.
Yeah, one knee.
Quick genuflection. Thank you, Lord. May I have another. Hand it to the referee.
But it was still all about you. When you go down to one knee. I mean, it's not about anybody else. It's about you.
It's about me paying respect, paying it forward. No. To the good Lord who gave me enough gifts to get my fat white butt in the end zone.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad that made you laugh right there. That it was about you. I like that.
It's never about us, right?
No,
we're looking out for number one.
You kidding me?
So give me yours. I gave you mine. Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon.
I like Ohio State, Texas A&M. I really like Alabama. Georgia, not so much.
Who's your fourth?
I'm going to pick Vandy.
I
really liked Vandy. I like the moxie of that quarterback. I like their receivers. I like their defense.
If they can get out of Rocky Top alive and get into this playoff, that would be a great Cinderella story.
I think they can. They just won last week on a team that I think was better than Tennessee.
All right. Now we got to move on. We're moving on into hockey. The hockey season is upon us. We are now in that wonderful moment of time, that sports media vortex where all the professional sports of note are playing at the same time.
This is the only vortex.
That's it.
Yeah.
Late October. This is it, because baseball will end.
When is the
next week?
Oh, next week is
next week. The World Series will be over.
Oh,
right. I mean, maybe it goes right to Sunday, but the World Series starts on Friday. Congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs, our neighbors, not too far away in Ontario, across the bridge. And congratulations to the Mariners who knocked out the Tigers. The big dumpster, Cal Raleigh. What an amazing series! They had a 3-1 lead. They're going to be killing themselves. Bizzardo gave up the bomb to George Springer. Springer's 3-run homer changes it from a 3-1 lead to a 4-3 loss for the Mariners. Toronto moves into the World Series, which will pit them against the Big O. Shohei Ohtani, who we have talked about is the only guy playing right now where we could look at him and say, okay, he could be in the debate for the greatest of all time. Yeah. He could be a GOAT of the future because of the fact that he's pitching and hitting.
Had 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
How does that
That's
happen?
crazy.
Babe Ruth is the last one to pitch and hit home runs in World Series. When your name is being mentioned in the same sentence as Babe Ruth, you're doing something right. So he comes over from Japan. Little controversy over whether or not he likes to gamble or not. Seems like his assistant took the fall for that one. But let's say that there is no gambling scandal.
Have you seen the videos?
No.
So there was a guy, can't remember his name, but he was a bookie. He got turned on to Ohtani's buddy.
His translator.
His translator.
Yeah.
So the guy sent him like $5 million that he lost, and he owed him another $5 million. This guy had an assistant that was helping him out. His assistant always used to look at all of his wires, see where they came from.
Yeah.
Right?
See if they were written in Japanese.
So the last wire, the $5 million, came from Ohtani. It was from his personal account.
Well, of course, Ohtani's going to say, well, I just thought I was giving it to him for...
Whatever. It's in Vegas.
Right?
I mean, you can gamble. I mean, you can gamble in Vegas. You just can't gamble.
You can do a lot of things in Vegas. Not all of them are well advised, but you can do a lot of things in Las Vegas.
This is true.
That's where the baseball season is now situated, where everyone from a TV standpoint wanted it to be. 2 major media markets, obviously the largest market in Canada with Toronto, city of like 10 million people, and then Los Angeles, right? Lipstick City has got Shohei Ohtani and this massive #1 payroll. So that's where you end up in the World Series. That starts Friday night going into next week. We'll see. Who do you like?
LA.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Toronto can't grind it out with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and George Springer.
Sure.
You don't think they got enough sticks?
No, I think they can. I just think LA's got enough pitching and hitters, and they got Ohtani.
It's going to be very interesting. It's definitely something to watch. It's not one of these series where you're sitting here going, oh, man, I've seen this one before.
I tell you what, even the Tigers games, they had me glued to the TV.
It's good coverage.
I was good, dude. It was good shit.
It's good coverage.
It was good shit.
They shoot playoff baseball, especially the World Series, so much better than they shoot the rest of the season.
You know what the game changer is for me? The pitching. How quickly.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for me. That slow shit they used to do.
Yeah.
Wipe their brow and then step off the mound.
Fix your athletic supporter. He did my left nut. My left nut's off center.
The hitter would get out.
My right nut is on the edge of the cup.
The hitter would get out. And then you see how the referees are with the hitters when they get out of the box now? They're like, let's go.
Well, they're not called referees. So that's
umpire.
Same
shit.
That was the sixth concussion that cost you that one.
You played 3 years of catcher. It ain't like you were some all-star catcher.
Yeah, well, I know the difference between an official and a referee, right? And an umpire.
I don't.
So that puts the button on baseball. Let's get back to hockey. We did say that all the sports are playing at the same time.
How about the Wings?
The Detroit Red Wings, too, at some point.
0-1 and win 5 in a row. Wow.
0-1 looked like, here we go again. And did you watch the 0-1?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
No. Everybody said it would look like they were going to go 0-50.
I think Gibson gave up 4 goals on 9 shots or 5 goals on 11 shots. It was rough. But they have resurrected themselves. They have turned it around. They have won 5 in a row, and they are atop the Eastern Conference with another team that was on the outside looking in from
Montreal
the playoffs.
Canadiens.
No, the New Jersey Devils in the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, they're 5, but
5-1,
Canadiens
5-1.
are 5-2.
Canadians are 5-2.
Yeah.
Carolina's 5-1. Pittsburgh Penguins were awful last year. They're sitting here at 5-2.
It's awfully early.
It's way early. But what do you think early on of the Red Wings bringing up a lot of these youngsters? Pelika in the lineup. They're playing these young defensemen a little bit more.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't watch a ton of hockey. I watch enough.
Here we go.
I know. I'm just
Excuses.
telling you. It's not an excuse. You can cut it out of here if you have to. I don't watch that much hockey. But as far as personnel goes.
What does your significant other think of that?
She's fine with it, I think.
Would she rather have you be a fan, or would she rather have her know a hell of a lot more about the sport than you do? So you just shut the F up.
I just shut the F up.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just mind your own business.
Say, goal, nice goal. That's all I say.
On the other side, in the Western Conference, since we were speaking of Vegas, let's talk about the undefeated
Las Vegas Golden Knights. Have you ever been to a game?
In Vegas, no.
In my opinion,
I've been to the All-Star game in Vegas, not a Golden Knights game.
in my opinion, the Golden Knights hockey games are the best hockey experience that you can have for a fan from beginning to end. The pregame walk from New York, or from Park.
The girl that I'm seeing did the
She did the drum beat.
She did the drum beat.
And they got the showgirls but you basically go on a walk from whatever casino hotel you're staying at or where you.
It's right by the park.
Right
You
by
stay
park.
by the park.
That's
yeah.
right. Right by New York.
I've been there, just haven't been to a game.
You walk around the corner. There's a series of bars. Some of them are like temporarily set up on the street.
Sure.
Right? So it really becomes like a street fair. You pub crawl to the front gates, and they actually do this little kind of electrolyte show before they open the doors. They have usually some kid from the children's hospital or somebody kind of get up there and say, "Open the gates," and then the knight the knight on the screen. They've got the golden knight slams the thing down, and all of a sudden the ushers open the doors and everybody goes flooding. I mean, they actually make a ceremony out of opening the doors to come in the stadium.
Cool.
Then you get in, you got the marching band, you got the showgirls, you got the dancing girls like the Rockettes thing. You got this whole thing with the knight and the stabbing of somebody out on the ice where they're skating around. I mean, it's a whole deal. You get the full Vegas atmosphere. And then, by the way, Jack Eichel and this team are really freaking good. So it's the full product for me, end to end. If you get a chance to be in Vegas during the months of the NHL hockey season, figure out how you can get over to a Golden Knights game.
I will.
It'll be worth your money.
I will.
All right.
Can't wait to see another hockey game.
And the Avalanche are also undefeated, and the Avalanche do a hell of a job in Denver, too. Another good town to go see a hockey game.
Okay.
I have not seen a hockey game in Winnipeg, where they are 5-1 and the best team right now in Canada.
Nor should you.
You don't want me to go to Winnipeg?
You want to go to Winnipeg?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I'm glad you asked. Thank you.
You did that on purpose.
The 50-50 raffle. Have you heard about this?
No.
People play it.
So something that you'll never win, but go ahead.
Right. But people play it like all over Canada. They play this Winnipeg Jets
Oh, shit.
50-50 raffle that they do for every home game. All right. And this 50-50 raffle on every home game rides up to like big 6 figures, 7 figures. Because I think now they're letting people buy from like, you don't even have to be at the stadium, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how it works. Somebody should probably fact check me and email us and call in on this. But the Winnipeg Jets, not just being a great team, got to love Kyle Connor from Michigan, got to love Scheifele, Hellebuck, another Michigan kid, played for Walled Lake Northern High School hockey, #1 goaltender, won the Vezina Award. So with the Winnipeg Jets, you got the 50-50, you're in the middle of nowhere, Manitoba, Canada. I think it would just be an adventure for us to get some people together. And maybe we figure out
including me?
Let's figure out when the wing, and let's figure out how to get. We'll take what are the dogs? What do they call that? The dogs that sled, dog sledding, dog sledding.
Dog sledding.
We'll dog sled there, just like maybe we'll dog sled for like 5 minutes from somewhere to the parking lot.
Joe.
So we'll get to Winnipeg before we dog sled.
I think you're talking about a trip with your wife.
No. This is a guy thing.
It's a guy thing?
Yeah.
Johnny,
let's get some
we can take
guys
Johnny with
together.
us?
There's going to be nothing to do in Winnipeg.
Except drink.
I did see on The Office, right? Didn't he fly into Winnipeg? Wasn't that didn't Michael Scott have a moment in Winnipeg where the concierge?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think we should do this. Let's go see the Winnipeg Jets. Let's go see the Wings or somebody else who's playing, maybe the Kings, playing in Winnipeg.
How about if we just go to a LA Kings game and hang out in LA for 5 days?
Okay, that too.
Much better weather.
We can combine them. We'll do it in the same. We'll fly from.
We have to go to.
We'll fly with the Kings. We'll see a Kings game. Then we'll fly with the Kings on the jet.
If you go to Winnipeg before LA, no good.
I don't think so. I think you're going to be surprised at what the Winnipeg fan base has to offer for. I saw the Winnipeg fans in Nashville. I went to a Predators game. The Winnipeg travels. There was a ton of people in Nashville from Winnipeg wearing Winnipeg Jets jerseys. They travel to Smashville. I'm sure they travel to LA.
I'm sure they do.
All right, so who do you like? Who's early? We have no real. We've got 4, 5, 6 games in. Who are your cup contenders?
I'm going to pick the Wings. I really like.
You homer son of a bitch.
What am I going to do? They're 5-1.
The Wings. If the Wings get even into the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's a win.
I would agree.
Right? If they win the first round, that's a big plus.
New Jersey, Carolina, they've been playing well. I don't know. It's so early in the season. We're gonna pick a NHL of the Cup winner.
This is what predictions are all about. All right.
Well, that's all I got.
You got to look at what's happened in the offseason and who's got the muster to make this thing for the distance. Tampa Bay's only won 1 game. Yeah. I like Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them in the mix. Really? I still like them 1-3.
Why? Because they're goalie?
I like Tampa Bay.
Why?
I like John Cooper. I think he puts the pieces together. I think coaching matters in the NHL.
Not if you don't have players.
Well, yeah, he's got players too. I mean, Kucherov will get healthy. All right, so who do I like? I am going to take a front runner. I do really like the New Jersey Devils. I think the Devils have put a lot of pieces together. And if these Hughes brothers can stay healthy, which is the big what if, if the Hughes brothers can stay healthy, I do think Jersey has a chance to be there.
You know they live in Michigan.
I do know that.
Yeah, they live up on Orchard Lake.
And I know that there's that Montreal has put some pieces together too. Yeah. They've got a nice young squad. Who else? From the other side, is it Colorado? Is it Winnipeg? Is it the Golden Knights?
I'm going to go with Winnipeg.
I like it. See?
See?
If the Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets make the finals,
it's on me.
I will take a long walk on a short pier, right, in honor of Tom Beer.
We'll go to a game in Winnipeg when the Wings play.
I took the Avalanche last year. It came back to bite me. I'm coming back home to VGK. I'm going with the Golden Knights coming out of the West, and I do think that the Golden Knights will beat the New Jersey Devils in the Cup final. That's my pick.
Okay.
I got Knights, Devils, Knights win. And very early in the season, but somebody's got to make a pick. Somebody in this thing has got to make a pick. So let's get into our GOAT list. We have a pitcher who's hitting with Shohei Ohtani with the Dodgers. We have got a receiver who's playing defensive back with Travis Hunter in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have the two-sport athlete that we've had in the past, but since these guys are kind of multiple players in their own sport, I thought it appropriate for us to think back to the days of Neon Dion, to the days of Bo Jackson. Who is your Mount Rushmore of multi-sport athletes?
For me, it's Deion Sanders. He's my number one. 14 years in the NFL, 9 years of Major League Baseball.
He played 9 years.
9 years
of Major League Baseball,
and he played.
I would have thought.
I would have guessed 3 or 4.
Exactly.
I would have guessed 3
That's
or 4.
double what I would have thought.
He played 9 years in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
But some more current players: Kyler Murray, first overall draft pick by Arizona, 9th overall draft pick by the Athletics.
Sure.
Never played baseball.
Right.
But if we're talking about great athletes.
Yeah, there were some minor league moments. Drew Henson had a minute with the Cowboys. Then he was a Yankees high draft pick.
But actually, probably the number one was Dave Winfield. He was drafted in 4 different sports.
Yeah, but one of those draft picks, I think, was a sport he didn't even play, right?
Exactly. It was track or something. But
yeah, I think they had like a volleyball team or something, that professional volleyball for men or something.
But
for
drafted
a minute there.
in 4 different sports. My number 7 guys, Jackie Robinson.
Another great one.
Yeah. He was NCAA long jump champion. I mean, plus all the baseball and how he changed the game. And
I would say that number 1 for me, because you could literally make the case that he was the greatest of all time in both, would be Jim Brown. You could argue that Jim Brown was the greatest running back of all time, and there are a lot of people who say he was the greatest lacrosse player of all time.
Heard that too.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Jim Brown only because I think he could be the GOAT in both. Patrick Mahomes was a great baseball player. Probably obviously his father was a pitcher. Mahomes, I agree with you with Kyler Murray. There's some of these guys who just got so much money thrown at them.
Charlie Ward.
Yeah. Got so much money.
Won the Heisman, played, 9? I think he played 9 years in the NBA.
They got to get
selected 26th overall.
They get so much money thrown at them. NBA, the whole league, the bench guys are making multi-million-dollar contracts. And if they're a quarterback, a starting quarterback. So they end up getting so much money thrown at them that they have to specialize. The most kind of under the radar one for me is Danny Ainge. Nobody thinks about the Danny Ainge, the NBA executive. They think, he's a pretty good guard. He played second base for the Toronto Blue Jays.
He actually did?
He played.
How many years?
I think it was just a couple of years, but he played a couple in the minors too. Okay. Then he popped up with the Blue Jays. But Danny Ainge was an actual Major League Baseball player and a pretty damn good guard, and then went into the front office and has been pretty good, championship front office executive. So there's a guy who kind of completely flies under the radar. There's actually a bunch of early NBA guys when the NBA was kind of, is this a part-time job, that played other sports. But I like your Dave Winfield call out because he and guys like Wilt Chamberlain back in the early days, they could have just done whatever they wanted.
Jim Thorpe, too. Olympic gold medal in the decathlon.
Jim Thorpe is probably amateur, right? Now we got to take it out of professional. So you're right, because I did not clarify. I just said who's the greatest multi-sport athlete. But you're right. I take back my Jim Brown comment. Jim Thorpe is the greatest multi-sport athlete of all time.
In the decathlon?
Yeah, which is 10 sports.
10 sports, yeah.
So he not only won the decathlon, but would have won it twice.
8 years in the NFL, 6 years in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and could have played as long as he wanted in the NFL. Wow. There really wasn't. He was a Canton Bulldog, I think, and before that he played for that reservation team that they put together in Ohio.
What do you mean Canton Bulldog? Oh, in the football
early days of when it was
NFL.
People forget like the earliest early days of the football, professionally speaking, it was kind of like a club sport, and really it started in Ohio. All the teams were in Ohio for a minute, and then they expanded outside of Ohio. So really, as much as we want to look down our nose at the state of Ohio, we kind of owe professional football. The state of Ohio is where it all started.
Look what money's done to the game. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, guys used to have to work in the offseason. They'd work at a bank as a teller or whatever. They worked in the offseason.
George Mikan, the greatest player in the early days of the NBA, from the Minneapolis Lakers, George Mikan, first ballot Hall of Famer, 8 or 9 time scoring champion, went and worked at a bank.
Yeah.
This is the greatest player of his era.
Yeah.
He went and worked at a bank.
Or did drugs or
sold insurance.
Smoked cigarettes at halftime dude, all the stuff that they do now or that they don't do now that they used to do then, it's amazing.
Doak Walker, the great Doak Walker, who the College Football Award is named after for receivers. Doak Walker left football to own like dealerships. He was like, there is so much more money in Texas, real estate and oil and cars.
I'm going to break my neck out here for $15,000 a year.
Played 5 years and walked away happy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the difference in the situation. Now you're looking at a family paying $2,000 to go to a game.
Yeah.
And the price
you're
of tea.
looking at kids in college making $5-6 million a year.
$5-6 million a year. So
in
I know
college.
And I know that this is going to segue us into James Franklin being dismissed at Penn State, some of these other coaches getting dismissed earlier than you would have thought. James Franklin, obviously had a great run, but couldn't win the big game. You could say that he was a victim of super televisation, right? Like these primetime games that he consistently didn't win on big TV platform moments.
Yeah.
But I think Nick Saban has gone on the rant saying, look, this is all about NIL and the portal. This is all about this money trumping everything. And in order to get recruits, you got to have the next sweetheart of the month.
The game has changed. And Saban knew it, and he did not want, he's too old to change. You know, I mean, it's not old school, and it's definitely new school, right? buttering players up, patting them on the back, all the stuff that in the 80s and 90s, no football coach did that. Very few, right? It was all fuck you, go play, right?
Yep, rub some dirt on it.
Rub some dirt on it. You got a concussion, don't miss a play.
Tape and aspirin to it.
Yeah, back when I played, if you had a concussion, you didn't miss a play. You'd get cut.
No, you saw stars.
You get cut.
Well, that just means you're in the game.
So what? You saw stars? That's part of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad, but true.
No, it's sad. It is what it is.
And that's the way it plays out now. So I don't want to leave it on that note. I don't want to leave it on a down note.
It's not a down note. It is what it is.
We don't leave Goat Quest on a down note. So in honor of trying to find the good vibrations here at the end, now you've seen the Lions at 5-2. You know what they've got the rest of the way. Where do you think the record stands when the clock tolls midnight at the end of this 17-game season?
I think that they are going to continually get scary better, if that's possible. They're healthy. Besides
the whole defensive backfield, they're healthy.
That's okay. Our D-line's healthy. Our O-line's healthy. All of our receivers are healthy.
Which can change next week.
It can change next week, but I'm just going by what we have. And for us to play like that on Monday night in a dominant fashion and dominate probably one of the better teams in the NFL, I think the sky's the limit. I don't see it.
So you think they're 15-2? They're going to win out?
I think they're going to be 13-4 just by.
I like that.
I think 13-4 is a number.
My preseason was 12-5, but I'm starting to think 13-4 is more likely.
Yeah.
All right, so a 13-4 pick for your Detroit Lions. That wraps us up, and I want each and every one of you to remember as we cheers it one more time to Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl halftime show. Goat Quest asks you to go out there and be the GOAT, damn it, at whatever it is that you're doing today.